Hello everybody and welcome back, and thank you for coming back if you watched the upload video and you're now watching this one, or any of my videos for that matter, thank you, or even just this one. Now, this video was actually meant for release after the upload video, but, here's a big but here, YouTube decided after it completely uploaded, I'm not joking, it was like 100%, halfway through the rendering process, it decided that the file format wasn't compatible, so I checked it out, and I saved it in the wrong file format. I know it's my fault again, always is my fault. Anyway, I saved it in the wrong file format, so I decided to, resave it as a different format. Went to resave it, and the video file corrupted halfway through saving again. So, bit unfortunate there, but anyway, this one should be coming up directly before New Year. If not even earlier. You might be lucky. Father Christmas might bring you extra presents later on, of course, 'cause it's Christmas. But anyway, this is a scrim between my team, the Harbingers of Aphrodite, as was that handsome. Hopefully you get that joke. Or, not really a joke, just the name. And Taco Cats, who, if you remember Graggy, who played in the Upward Scrim, this is his new team. And as you can see, everyone's decided, because we were waiting a little while before the match for everyone to get connected, everyone decided to change their name to mine, with the little, like, Santa hat, but with a different expression in front. So some people don't have Santa hats, some people do. So everyone in this map, apart from Tryhard, the pyro, it's called Pothenar. Very intelligent there, well done. And Sode, who you'll probably see his name pop up, he's the spy. But apart from that, everyone's got my name. Chids, who is playing scout for this match, not demo, luckily, he enjoyed that. Managed to find my display picture somewhere as well, and half of them changed their display picture to mine. So when I was healing people, I was getting quite confused at the start. Display pictures as well, I found it quite hard, but luckily, because when you're flashing, you just read the name for your medic sometimes. If everyone's in the area, just flashing, you're like, right, he's healed, who the hell are you? So it got quite confusing. But anyway, this is Coldfront. It's a 5 CP map, if you haven't worked that out. Hopefully you have worked that out. But strategy 5 CP maps, it can vary very widely, really, depending on what team you are. That's not saying, all strategies are going to be the same, because obviously they're not. It's the same with payload maps. The main strategy is obviously to capture 5 CP points, or push the payload all the way if you're playing a payload map. So your strategies are going to be the same in that respect, but it's the way you go about it, so there's a lot of detail involved in that, and probably it's best to watch other people's videos on explaining that. I mean, if someone can't speak this morning, specifically requests it in the comments section below, then the next map I'll do, or I might even just do a separate video on its own, and I can go through a bit of 5 CP strategy with you. But you might, obviously, you don't want me calling the shots for your team. I can give you some loose strategy, of course, but again, there's probably already some out there. Anyway, as you can see, we've capped mid, and we've capped like their second. So hopefully you've been enjoying the footage so far. And I'll just tell you a bit about what we're doing. Here we get Uber, and I'm telling everyone sort of get ready, and then we'll go in as a team. So me and our demo man, who is Jub in this match, he is sort of one of our multi-class subs, because he doesn't want. Cause if you remember from last season as well, he played demo for us last season for the first sort of few games. He is one of our multi-class subs this season because obviously he's doing he's got stuff going on in his personal life, but he has offered to help us out if we're desperate and he's got the time. So at the moment, we needed an extra player, and so he'd offered to help us out. It's very kind of him. Tesla unfortunately isn't playing this match, but we got Grey Balm on NG. He's more than the capable of NG. He's very good. He always doubts himself though, so you got to big him up. You got to big up all your players really. For example, if you're heavy, he's had an off day and he feels down, and he goes, "Oh, I don't really feel up to this anymore. Maybe we can try something else." It's like, no, you're good. Just keep doing what you're doing. You might just have had an off day. It's that sort of thing. And here, this was about listening to the calls I explained in the last video. And as I said, if you're playing medic, you don't have a choice. You have to listen to the call. Here, Charmander just said, go in. We have the numbers. I couldn't see. I mean, I knew we had the numbers, but I couldn't see what was around that corner. But he said, you're safe to go in. So I came in and started healing him. And as I said, he's getting a lot better, and now he's dropped out. He's intelligent enough to drop out and not stay in there. So that's a real help to my team. or real help to me, really. So you've got to take your calls. Here, their medic goes down. That was a good bit of trap play there. So now we have Uber. We have full Uber advantage. This is very important. If your team has full Uber advantage over theirs, you know, you want to go in ASAP. Why? Well, if their medic's just gone down, as this situation is, I've just overhealed a lot of members on my team. You know, their medic's just gone down, they're going to have no overheals. So it's basically a team with overheal against a team with not overheal. And, you know, it's probably 80% of the time the team with overheal is going to come out. Unfortunately there, I didn't realise sort of how far spread out people were. So it was just me and Jub, which was a bit of a failed push, really. When you think about it, a medic and a demo against half their team, I'd say, not going to really work out that much. So we're just sort of equipping for another push now, because now we're pretty sure we either have Uber advantage or they have an advantage. So now we have to sort of wait for either a pick or a play, which will allow us to take the opportunity to actually go in. Because it's pointless if they have Uber advantage. You therefore technically have no advantage, except a potential DM advantage. Now, DM means deathmatch, so basically it's a one-on-one situation. If your heavy's better than their heavy, soldier better than their soldier, that's that sort of thing. Unless your team have a better DM than they do, overall, so more classes have a better DM, then that's your advantage. Here, you know, we're probably even DM, if not like slightly better or slightly worse. It's varied across the classes, depending on, you know, point of view, positioning, etc. But now we have Uber. They have Uber as well, we're assuming, unless their medic just went down. No, he hasn't. Stitzy is their medic, I can see on the top right. So, we know they haven't gone down, so we're all getting ready. Here I just said get in position. There, I apologise, try hard, I did try and flash you. So, my fault there. Anyway, here, as you can see last time, it was just me and Jub. We're now going in as a team. And so done brilliantly there, who's our spy, to get on the point. So there, we took that round 1-0. That was a good... If you can see the transition between the first two pushes we did and the last one, then you can see how much sort of our teamwork evolved in those first plays. Excuse me. Just getting some water. Anyway, so it was just me and Jub first. You know, a couple people were down. In the last push, we had a bit more coordination, so we managed to go in with more players. And that's what you really want on a final push, no matter whether it's payload, 5CP, King of the Hill maybe. You want to go in with a full team coordination, so everyone knows where everyone is, everyone knows what everyone's doing, and everyone's working together. That is key. If you don't work together, then, you know, it's not going to really work out. So here, look, we backed off a bit, we let them cap the point. We knew, on mid, like last time, they weren't necessarily best organised coming into mid. We knew sort of what their capabilities were on a mid fight, let's say. So we came in, let them cap, minimal deaths, and then we all pushed back and caught it, which is good. Now, we capped the point. Here, I didn't want to drop, so I popped, luckily. But that third rocket hit me, so I would have probably been very low health, if not dead. So that was I would say, a good pop. Anyway, here Tryhard runs straight by the medic, even though it runs into his face, but oh well, mistakes happen. So when we were capping mid, I was saying, like, one person cap mid, everybody else get off mid and just go for the next point. Because if we push them off second, you know, we've got 2 free points, basically. Or a free point, I should say. So here we have numbers advantage. I'm just telling guys, just go in. You know, I'll overheal all of you. If we can, get in. If you don't feel confident, obviously I'm not going to peek. If they don't feel confident coming in, then just come back to second. We'll hold second for a while. You know, I was only 50% away from an Uber at that point. So now I'm at 80%. And, you know, we're hanging back. We've got a demo, a heavy, a sniper, a pyro. Most people didn't die in that push, which is good. You never want to drop needlessly. So here, we're getting ready to go in. I wanted to go in as quick as possible. Simply because, you know, you have to. If you have an Uber advantage, you want to use it ASAP. But anyway, here I start backing off. So now I come back around because I realise people are still in. I was backing off because I didn't want to basically die, and then my team get wiped in the next point. But what happened was, I started backing out. And I set anyone up. Jumper goes, yeah, I'm up. And I heard about 5 other calls just saying, yeah, I'm up. So I just sort of wheeled around, went in a different direction, and started healing people again. As I was saying again, you have to listen to those calls, and that's what I did there. I listened to the calls, and luckily we got the cap. So that was a good play by my team there. Again, here we go, we're just rolling out to mid. On reflection, which is always good to do, I probably should have gone out right this time. But maybe it was just because we were feeling overconfident that, you know, we thought, well, we'll go out left again and just do the same thing. But you've got to mix it up, because as you see, they sort of know where I am now, because Crikey's trying to come around the back, their soldier. And, you know, they're spamming left now, and I've got to get out, because otherwise I'm going to die. So, overall, you know, that was pretty awful push, because they knew what we were doing. So, in reflection, you have got to mix it up. You know, maybe the third time, maybe the second time, depending on how sort of quick you want to do it. But you can't do the same thing every time, because, you know, it just becomes predictable. So, as you can see, we're holding second now. When holding second, you don't want to give up ground easily. If they do, you know, they've pretty much capped second, they'll cap last. Now, saying that, you do want to give up ground easily if they have an advantage. For example, if they have Uber and we don't have Uber, and then they all push in, get out. Because if they wipe you, they will cap last as well as second. So you always want to have numbers on last, or an advantage going into last, because otherwise, you know, you can't push out, you're going to get stuck, and eventually they'll probably just overpower you and win. Here, I said to everyone, we'll counter. And we probably had 5 others apart from me in there. Now, when your medic says counter, unless he says fall out and then counter, please stay where you are, because there, you know, we probably could have held second there, or at least given it a good go at holding it. And even as you can see, everyone fell out, and they still died. So please listen to your medic on that. But anyway, Jub lags out here, unfortunate, but that accelerated very, very quickly. So, what can we learn from that? Or what can any team learn from that? Not just my team. Excuse me, a bit of a cold coming on this morning. You know, listen to the calls, roll out differently maybe. You know, potentially try some different things. But the most crucial thing I would say is, you know, listen to each other's comms. That is so big. An example of this, not just in this game as you saw, was Charmander used to play with his sound ridiculously high, probably on the max. Now, what's the problem with that? One, we were literally having to shout at him shout at him so he could hear us. You know, that's not necessary. You can just speak to people as I'm speaking to you now. You know, obviously, you don't want to hear my dull voice every single time, but you've got to have those comms. I know it sounds tedious, but Rob there goes in for the medic. Unfortunately, he doesn't get him, but, you know, they have Uber now. Or we're pretty sure they have Uber. I went down, so we saw them all on the point there. This was quite good. We saw them all on the point, and then it got ×2 on the next point, so I knew not much could get there that quick. There, I knew that was a spy, so luckily I didn't heal him. So we knew that, you know, it was ×2. Well, I knew it was ×2 anyway, because I made the call. Not to blow my own trumpet or anything, but so I knew that was just a scout, because nothing else could really get that quick apart from a demo or a soldier, but I believe we got called for a demo down. So, you know, I knew it was just there so we could try to push him off. We did push the scout off, but unfortunately they sort of came through. Now we've got numbers on last. We're waiting for some sort of advantage, because if we get the advantage, we can then re-push out and retake second, because as you can see, we're fighting last. They accelerated quite quickly through mid and then second. Excuse me. So now we're waiting for advantage. I have a Uber advantage now, I know I do. So here we go, we're going in. Medic doesn't go down, unfortunately, so he is very close to getting that Uber advantage. Here I'm just saying, Charmander, turn around as a spy when you finish. So luckily he managed to kill a few things before he turned around. But now we know they have Uber. They have Uber, like that. So I try and get out, Unfortunately, I couldn't really get away from the scout. It was ended up with Pyro killing me, unfortunately, but these things happen, you know. If you don't get the medic, we have to try and make a play, or else we're not really ever going to get out. So we're back to defending last. We try and get everyone watching at least a door each, so they have no easy way in. And you know, we're just trying to find an advantage again. I know it's tedious, I know I keep saying it, but in these match situations, you've got to keep telling your team, make a play, make a pick, someone make a pick, or else we're going to be stuck on last. They're going to steamroll us through if they get the advantage. So we have to make sure they never get a clear advantage, or else we'll lose. Currently it's 2-1 on the old cap points. The old cap points. You know, the old cap points. I know I keep saying that, Mr. Cap points. Anyway. There, Charmander goes down. That's unfortunate. But we're going to keep holding. We're going to keep trying to find an advantage. And I think most of our players are down now or trying to push out. I'm not 100% sure. I can't see. So I'm probably just listening to calls at this point. You know, with it being Christmas and all, it's quite hard to remember what happened exactly. So anyway, we're pushing back out. When you're pushing back out, you have to be careful. If they have, I think here we had numbers, so it was okay. But when you're pushing out, you have to be careful that they sort of have numbers. If you think they've disappeared from the point, they're probably just around the corner or waiting for you to come back on that point. Because as soon as you come back on that point, you know, they can easily just jump back on you and wipe you off again. So you have to be careful when pushing out. So here I have Uber. We're thinking about what to do. We're taking our time over it because we know they have a few players up. We're not. We are. Well, we still know what's gone down, but there might be sort of respawns coming up. So what we're doing is thinking about what to do. Charmander falls all the way back here because I believe we got a call to get out. He should have waited for me, but still, that's okay. I didn't die, and I think their sniper was down at that point, so it was okay. Or far enough away that he couldn't do a lot of damage. So we're holding now. They have Uber. Now he just went down. So got a brilliant backstab there. And he dropped, I think, at that point as well. So we have a clear advantage. I'm telling everyone to go. I see a sniper and then a heavy in my sort of my peripheral vision. So I'm saying, just go. Like, I'll pop the Uber. Well, I sort of popped because it was maybe a little bit of a forced pop by me because I didn't want to be dropped by the sniper. So we have the advantage now. It's me and Charmander pushed all the way out. And now we're waiting for some sort of team support. Because if you're pushing in just the two of you against half their team, no matter what classes they have, it's very hard. So here we're just waiting for our team, which have come now. I mean, come on to the point. Like, no, that came out wrong. Sorry, just that they've arrived. Let's say that. And so there we lost a couple of people. Not a problem. You know, we still have a good numbers advantage. We got presence on mid. So here, as I said earlier, you know, we wanted one person on there, and then everyone else pushed forward. But as you could have seen, there, that was brilliant. That short circuit. Grey Balm saved my life there because Groggy tried to bomb me and it just got rid of everything. The funny part of this is, before the game, we were discussing the short circuit, and Rob, who's our soldier now, said, It's horrible. It's horrible. And we were thinking, what? It's brilliant. He goes, have you ever tried rocket jumping away? He said you're just running away and you can't get away because every time you try and rocket jump, they just come back at you. Oh, it's so funny. So he said he was just running around the map and the guy was chasing him with a short circuit. He couldn't do anything. But anyway, what I was saying was, earlier on, you have one person who everyone else pushed forward. There we didn't, because we got a call. They still have presence on mid. As they still have presence on mid, you know, it's a bit pointless us pushing all the way forward, you know, and then they recapping the mid, because what's the point in that? But anyway, short circuit. This is a strictly Highlander discussion. Because in pubs, you know, obviously this is the reason why most weapons change. So they become more viable within pubs mainly, we're going to say that. Because obviously it is a game. If you do Highlander or Sixes, it does turn into a competitive format. It is mainly a game for anyone to play, so that's why most weapons get buffed or nerfed depending. Now, the short circuit, we're having a little discussion. Strictly Highlander, of course. I don't want loads of hate. Obviously, I might still get some, but this is just my personal opinion. The short circuit in a pub, I have seen this. The enemy team popped 2 crits. 2 crit stickies from demos, and the short circuit managed to take out both of them in midair. You can't do a lot about that. But if you were to crits a heavy, short circuit's redundant, and critting a heavy is completely viable. You know, those laser beams do so much damage. It is ridiculous. You know, so it is. You have to sort of mix up your options. So in Highlander, I mean, you've got 1 demo, 1 soldier. You don't have to crit your demo and a soldier. You can crit your heavy. You can crit your pyro if you're that desperate. But so this just sort of opens up different opportunities to say. So in pubs, it might be a slightly overpowered if the engineer who's using it has good aim. In a Highlander situation, I would not say it's that overpowered, because obviously if you crit your heavy, you could always flash. You could start critting your demo as soon as you see a short circuit taking everything out. Yeah, just switch to your heavy. Heavy takes him out, and then switch back to the demo, that sort of thing, or just stay on the heavy depending on the situation. But it's all very situational, because, for example, if you pop crits around the corner, Engi's not really going to have much of a chance, is he? So, in terms of what the capabilities of the weapon are, yes, it is overpowered. But overall, is it overpowered? Probably not. That's what you got to think about with all weapons. As I'm playing medic, and you're all listening here for a medic commentary, probably, I'll go through the sort of whether mediguns are overpowered. Like the 3 main mediguns you have: Ubercharge, Kritzkrieg, Quick Fix. Now, in Highlander, this is just for Highlander speaking, really. I mean, you can use the Vaccinator if you want. I've never really used it at all, so I'm not going to give you any commentary on it in case it's completely false. But we'll start with Ubercharge. Ubercharge, standard, what I'm using now. It gives you 8 seconds of invulnerability if you pop on 1 person, and probably like 5 if you flash 2, I think, and 4 if you flash 3. That's seconds. So it's an all-round good medigun. I think it builds in about 40 seconds maximum, but you'll regularly get it around 45-50 seconds, just because of overheals, full heals, that sort of thing. Now, that's sort of your stock medigun. No, you buff people up. It's an all-round good thing, because 8 seconds of invulnerability, you can't really beat 8 seconds of invulnerability. Now, Kritzkrieg builds in 30 seconds maximum, and you'll generally get it around 35-40 seconds, just because, again, of the overheals, unless you're building, of course, in which case 30 seconds. Now, Kritzkrieg, 8 seconds, again, the same principle applies, 8 seconds of full crits, or 5, 4, something like that. Now, crits do, I think it's 300% damage? Don't correct me, I should know this. But anyway, it just does a lot of damage, just put it like that. I mean, a crit sticky does about 230, 250, something like that. Which, obviously, is very, very good. And that's just like your average sticky, it's not something directly under them. But that's that. You know, heavies with laser beams, they do 32 minimum with per bullet, this is. So, you know, it's very, very good. In comparison to the Ubercharge, completely situational and completely team preferenced. As I was explaining last match, Chiz didn't really want to crits last match because, you know, he doesn't normally play demo. So in that case, Uber probably would have been better. Unless you have crits for surprise, I mean, you can obviously mix it up. It's that sort of team mentality and situational expertise which will allow you to use the crits or an Uber. Quick Fix. A lot of people treat it as goddamn awful. Again, it is completely situational. The reason people treat it as awful is comparison. On its own, a Quick Fix is a very, very good weapon. You can get super heals, you can get overhealed now. You know, and if you Ubercharge someone, you get healed at 300% heals, and it heals you, the medic. Now, why is that considered bad? Well, compare that to 8 seconds of Ubercharge. You can go in, you know, you've got 300% heals. There I managed to stop Gruggy with a nice arrow and try hard. I was going to say crow bomb, I don't know why. There, Charmander nicks my health. Horrible, but he puts a sandwich down, luckily. But anyway, 8 seconds of Uber charge. That is extremely good. You're invulnerable. I mean, quick fix pretty much gives you 300% health. So, you know, you can still die by it. So one headshot plus a bit of spam, you're down. It's sort of the opposite to Man vs Machine. On Man vs Machine, you kill the quick fix medic first. On normal, if you kill either the quick fix medic or the target, it's pretty much a waste of a quick fix. But you can get it so quickly. So that is, again, it's quite situational and quite team dependent, depending on what your team prefers and works best with. So overall, you know, that's just a brief description of the mediguns for you, and you can just sort of situationally go from there. Hopefully you've been enjoying the gameplay going through, and hopefully that was informative. Otherwise I've just drilled on about nothing, but, you know, you've got to know these things, especially if you're playing medic, or even your team. Like, for example, if your medic changes to crit scree, you've got to understand that he thinks that situationally it'll be the best one. And if you've told him to do it, then you shouldn't really be complaining about him anyway. But anyway, back to the gameplay. Here, Rob done a clever thing and waited for me and started to build, which is very, very good. What you should do if you're medic. So, for example, he was actually calling there for me. I didn't call for him, which is even better. He said, you know, when are you coming out of spawn? I said 5 seconds. He goes, okay, just wait. So then he started building as well, which is even better. So as a medic, that was a bit of a treat. You know, not many times people build. I mean, obviously my team offers to build all the time, but sometimes it's just completely unnecessary. Like here, no need to build. I'm already at maximum sort of supercharge build. Just getting the overheals and everything. I mean, now it probably would have been a little best to build, but people still need the health. So now we're just waiting. We're winning 4-1? I want to say 4-1 or 3-1? Anyway, who knows? So here we're just, again, trying to find the advantage. Their sniper's still up, their heavy's gone down. A huge pushing class. I have Uber, so I'm waiting for someone to make a call. Charmander just sort of right in the corner. Made a very good call there. And we pushed them all the way out. Here I'm just flashing. I walk back on that point stupidly, sort of backing up, sort of. I mean, tryhard called up, there's stickies on the point. I still went for it, but luckily the Uber managed to last long enough for me to get away there, or me to actually realise and I can get out again. There, Charmander switched his aim a bit. That's because we called out there's a spy coming for you, and he got a bit sort of worried. We should have left him to do his own thing. He would have taken out the demo as well. Anyway, next point, we've lost our push on to second. It's very close, and we have people coming into second. So what our call was, don't go in, and sort of sit on the edge, and we'll hold there. We were calling it yard because of granary. You know, you have your left yard, right yard. So we were calling it yard, but Rob made the intelligent call there. I think it was Rob, of falling back out, which is, you know, what you got to do. If you don't think you have an advantage and that sort of thing, you don't really want to, you know, get wiped and then fall back. So anyway, I'm on 7 health here. Big problem. I'd try and get out, but couldn't get out. I was never really going to get out there because the scout was chasing me anyway. Unless I somehow did sort of an MGE play and managed to take him out. Wasn't really going to happen. So anyway, we're holding, well, we were holding mid, we're now going to hold second. A couple of the players, as you can see, you know, Charmander had some in upward, but that was the day before, I don't know why I mentioned that. Highlander had a couple of connection issues, I think Jojo had a couple of connection issues. Their team seemed to have a fair few connection issues. I'm not sure why, whether it was because of the update and people were having trouble sort of loading stuff up. I'm not 100% sure. But so a couple of people haven't connected. Here I sit spy. I'm not sure why he didn't go for me. He probably should have tried to single me out, but you know, I'm not criticising his play. His team might have asked him to go for someone else. I just call scout go into mid. No, spy scout go into mid. So everyone knows what to look out for, and we're all safe. I mean, obviously you can change class on the way there, but he was so close to mid, he probably, you know, everyone just watch it back immediately, but obviously then just resume your normal duties for spy checking. So here we captain again. We're just waiting to push out. We know there's not long left on the clock, I believe. I mean, not the clock at the top, that says 9 minutes 50, that's loads of time. But on the game time clocks, it was 30 minutes, I believe. So this is going to be one long video for you. Hopefully you appreciate it. I mean, I believe that it was a good game. Hopefully your team can learn something off it as well. I'm sure my team will learn some stuff from it. Well, our team really, it's not just my team, it's our team, we all work together. And as you can see, time runs out, we win 4-1. So again guys, thank you very much for watching, and thank you for coming back if you did. So if you do want to see those sort of general strategy videos on 5CP or Payload, then please put it in the comments and I'll happily do one for you. I might even bring some guests in. So anyway guys, take care, thanks for watching.